What is this, you say, Dan Dibley? This spread-changing factoid from the 49ers against the Rams this week.
It's Kyle Shanahan trying to keep it real and just trying to put a little bit of cold water on everybody. He was asked about this being a divisional opponent and somebody they know really well, and looking at the Rams roster, is there a lot of unfamiliarity there with them being so young? And he says, well, we have a history with the coaching staffs and stuff and the players and whatnot. But once you turn on the tape and you try to see it, you don't know some of these guys, but you definitely know 99. And he's talking about Aaron Donald. And you know the quarterback. And you watch the schemes and nothing's really different. So the fact that he was talking about 99 just kind of served as a cold reminder for what that guy can do to a football game. And, the Niners offensive line, through one game, they were fine. We all talk about Colton McKivitz, but the interior three, they're going to have a lot to deal with when it comes to 99. Aaron Donald, one of the best in the game, and he's the kind of player who can single-handedly change the course of any football game.
Perception or reality? 49ers have really held Aaron Donald in check the last 2 years.
I'd have to look at the stats, but it feels like a reality. But in the NFC Championship game, and I guess that was more than 2 years ago. Are you drawing the line outside of that game?
That was 2 years ago.
Not last year, but the year before.
Yeah, it was the year before.
Felt like he had a big impact in that game.
It felt like he did in that fourth quarter when Jimmy couldn't even get a pass off.
Right.
But outside of that, when Aaron Donald is getting a whole lot of pub coming into the game, I think there have been some matchups, times where the Niners have had injuries on the offensive line. There was the famous Brunskill game against Aaron Donald where you're like, well, this is just going to go horribly. And you never heard Aaron's name the entire game. So I don't know if the Niners have some sort of a game plan for him that tends to work. Look, he is truly, truly one of the all-time greats. So it's not like you can just stop him because I don't think the Niners have some sort of kryptonite by any stretch. But they have held their own. That's number one. And number two, I do think one thing Kyle Shanahan is really good at is setting up an offense so that it not neutralizes, but it goes away from the other team's strength. We all watched TJ Watt, and we're like, wow, he had a great game. And what did it mean? Nothing. Oh, he's a game wrecker. Well, he didn't wreck that one.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing that he could do individually. He had, 3 sacks in the game.
But that's what a quote-unquote game wrecker does. Like, yeah, you might get home for a sack, 2, 3, whatnot, but at no point was it slowing the 49er offense down. That's all. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're still getting first downs, who cares? I mean, you don't want Brock to get hurt.
Sure.
But I don't know. I'm not terribly worried about this one.
Well, I'm not worried about it either in terms of the overall team versus team and, the fact that it's in L.A., ho-hum, of all the road games they're going to have this year, and I think they have 9, right? This year they have 8 home and 9 road is, I think, the way the schedule breaks down.
I'll look it up.
And this one would probably rate as one of the 2 or 3 easiest games in terms of road spot. The Arizona road game would be easier. The Ram road spot, I'd say, would be the second easiest.
Well, I don't know if the Rams are any good or not. I go year by year. I know what we think they're going to be, and I know they're missing Cooper Kupp. I also know they went and just won by double digits up against the 12th man. Ooh, super scary.
Right.
And they have Stafford back. When Stafford left last year, the 49ers were in a spot where it was like, dude, here's another scary game against the Rams, and they better win it. And they did. And then they went on that streak. Stafford left, and the Rams were left for dead. Stafford's back. They're not. I don't think they're good / great, but the Rams are not a pushover. They're not a joke. We saw that last week, right? So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is I don't know how you can call this a road game other than the fact that it's not at Levi's.
Right.
This is going to be an overwhelmingly red crowd on Sunday.
Even with the Rams coming off a Super Bowl a couple years ago, you think it'll be more than 50-50 Niners?
Absolutely.
It'll be a takeover.
Without a shadow of a doubt in my mind.
I mean, you've worked down there, and I guess I've asked people from LA if the Super Bowl changed the amount of fanhood in the city, and the answer is, are the Rams still here?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's just
Do the Rams play in St. Louis? If you ranked LA teams and franchises, you would go Lakers 1, Dodgers 2.
For sure.
And then you get to USC football 3, LA Galaxy 4, Cal State Northridge men's volleyball 5.
The other soccer team has kind of overtaken
the
LA Galaxy.
True.
But yeah, probably it fits and starts a little bit, but USC football's third for sure.
UCLA basketball?
I don't know about that.
I mean, now we're starting to split hairs, but I think those 3 are the big 3.
No doubt. And the Rams are somewhere, probably, in the top 6, depending on how you want to play it.
Yeah.
The Chargers are in the top 30. They're in the top 30.
Yeah. Clippers probably ahead of the Chargers.
The Chargers come in right behind Mater Dei. So
good little program.
It's unbelievable. The Chargers, Matt, our boss, Matt Nahigian, I saw him post something on Twitter over the weekend where he was just watching on TV the Chargers-Dolphins game.
I had a look.
Well, he's like, look at this. Look at this.
Thank you.
And it was Tyreek Hill touchdown, and he goes, listen to the way this sounds. Crowd's going crazy. And that's the Dolphins. It's not like the Dolphins have some pulsating Southern California fan base.
Right.
The Dolphins? The Chargers, man. It's why, when we talked to Cheryl Bosa the other day and she was talking about being there, I always go to which one of my sons are at home. And, I didn't say it to her because I didn't want to be a smart aleck, but I'm like, so in other words, you never go to see Joey Bosa play because he didn't have any home games.
Yeah.
None.
I wonder if she stays in L.A. to watch Nick because the Chargers are in Tennessee. So even though it's not a home game, I wonder if the Bosas might just stay in L.A. for a little bit of a extra stay to see Nick play and then bebop on up here for the Thursday night.
Maybe, especially because it is only 4 days later, and she told us she was coming to the Giants game. I don't know. But, look, I think that we are immediately in a spot. It's an interesting sort of gambling discussion. We're in a spot where spreads get out of whack fast after week 1 because we are reacting to one football game. So now the Niners are amazing, but the Rams aren't because we expected them to be not. So we're going to ignore what we saw them do, and we're only going to focus on what the Niners did because the Niners did something that didn't surprise us, and the Rams did. I don't know, man. 8 points on the road in an NFL game, in a Division I at that, I'd stay the hell away. I'm not saying the Niners aren't going to win this 31-7. They might. They very, very well might. But that is a whole lot of road points against a team that blew somebody out on the road just a few days ago. That's a crazy spread, man.
It's a big number. It's the second biggest number I see up on the big board. The only one larger is your Buffalo Bills, given 8.5 at home against the Raiders.
Oh, poor Jimmy.
And that's a bounce back. Buffalo looking for a big bounce back in that spot. Thursday night, Eagles by 7 at home against Minnesota. And Monday night, a couple of games, Mark? What the hell?
This one is weird. It's not just a couple games. They keep going, we got a Monday night doubleheader. No, you don't. They're at the same time. They're an hour apart from one another. What is that?
I don't like it.
Well, and I know they've been doing the Monday night doubleheader thing on week 1.
Yeah.
And they didn't this time. I get it. Let's clear out Jets-Bills. Let's make it all about Aaron Rodgers, the 9/11 celebration. There's a lot going on there, so I totally understand. But if you're going to push it to the next week, give us a doubleheader. You got both games in the Eastern time zone. One's at 4:15 our time. One's at 5:15 our time. I don't even know how to consume that.
Well,
what channel are they on?
Good
I don't
point.
even know.
I think you watch the first hour of Saints and Panthers, and then you go ahead and say bye-bye to that one, thinking that it's probably not going to be as compelling as Browns at Steelers.
So Saints and Panthers are going to be on ESPN and ESPN2, and then Browns and Steelers is on ABC.
Okay.
And ESPN Plus.
All right. I wonder which one the Manning cast gets. If there is a Manning cast this
Browns
week.
Steelers.
Okay.
I mean, that's the 5:15 start on ABC.
But the Manning cast is usually on ESPN 2. So,
yeah. Maybe they split up the Mannings and cast them both.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe they do have both games on at once.
Maybe it's me being an old guy and being in the minority, but I'm not a huge Manning cast guy. If I am going to watch a game, I just want to watch the game.
Well, I'm with you, but
I don't need these two chuckleheads running material.
Well, I like the Manning cast, but I like to watch it later. I like to hear about it. Give me the clips when it got interesting. Did you see Peyton talking about Zach Wilson? See, after the fact, I thought that was really interesting. Might have even helped shape my point yesterday morning.
Oh, look at you stealing from Peyton.
No, but let's just say Peyton's not a fan of Zach Wilson.
Well, that's not a hot take.
No.
No one's a fan of Zach Wilson.
He can't play.
He struggled. I'm not going to die on a Zach Wilson hill.
Okay.
In case you want to reprise yesterday's discussion. I'm not willing to die on that hill.
No, I don't need to.
And they're,
I don't need to reprise on
the
that.
sooner they can replace him, the better off they're going to be.
So, Peter was talking about call the Colts and see about Gardner Minshew. I guess the Colts not really worried about the playoffs this year. Maybe that's the case. They're rebuilding a little bit, but why would any AFC team want to help the Jets? Why would you want to help them get good again?
Right.
Because you could. With that defense, you don't need much to at least be a problem. I'm not saying that they can go win the Super Bowl.
But if you're the Colts, you can't possibly fancy yourself as a Super Bowl contender. So why not pick up a second-round pick and a conditional fourth?
Well, I would
say, or whatever
say
you can get for the shoe.
Maybe you don't fancy yourself as a Super Bowl contender, but if you do fancy yourself as a team and you want to send a right message to your locker room, you've got a quarterback who is a rookie who has already been talked to after one game for taking too many hits, and he already has one injury, even though he'll probably play through it. And then week 2, you're going to trade your backup quarterback? I don't like that message to the locker room one bit.
You got Sam Ellinger as your QB3.
Yeah.
Give Sammy a shot. Let Sammy throw it around a little piece.
Come on.
Who knows?
Come on.